Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Ain't That Something and Merry Christmas. I am still in disbelief of how quickly we are here at the end of the month almost and the year. So, super exciting things await us in 2026. But yeah, I wanted to, continue our discussion. We're right in the middle of the series, cuffing season. And as we are kind of winding down into the topics of cuffing and all of the things that come with it, I wanted to discuss what respect actually means and what it looks like in relationships because I think this is a key pillar, if you will, in having a successful relationship. And for those that are single, it's just something to keep in mind. So whenever you are in a position and possibly moving forward with someone seriously, you have some tools and you have some understanding of the importance of respect. Um, It's very, very easy to disrespect someone and very challenging to maintain respect. Um, and a lot of times I believe people, you know, get kind of caught up in not understanding that respect is mutual. So as long as the other partner is back and forth, showing respect, showing concern of their person, then you the relationship is going to thrive. It's just it that's just the way it is. It's like you're thinking about the other person essentially. You're thinking about how this action that you're going to do, this behavior, whatever the case is, what you're doing and what you're inputting in the relationship, how does it affect that other person? And is it on the respectful side? Um, because once you lose respect for the other person or each other, that is a domino effect that it just triggers one thing after the next, leading ultimately to the demise of the relationship. So, how do we protect that pillar? How do we protect that foundation of respecting the one that we are with? Let's think about it for a second. You know, how do we feel respected ourselves? How do we feel respected? Someone is like asking you, giving you choice. Someone considers you. Someone, understands the boundaries of the relationship and don't cross those boundaries with you. Their tone is respectful in a sense that they are not, condescending while talking to you. They're not belittling you, you know, um, they're not making you feel like a child. That is so, so important, both ways. If you're talking to your man and you're making him feel like he's a little boy and he's not man enough, uh, and so you talk down to him, or to your woman, if you're talking down to her like she has no sense of consciousness and intelligence, you're talking down to her, that's not going to be a healthy relationship. It's going to be full of toxicity, you know. So, respect though. Like how does that look? How does that look? I'm going to tell you. If you are in a relationship with someone, if you are married to someone and you start to see the signs that they don't respect you, what's going to happen is that you are going to resent. and begin giving him back or giving her back the treatment that they're giving you. Because again, respect is mutual. So as one person in the relationship starts to decline with respect, so does the other. It's just, physics. um, it's just gonna happen that way. And when you lose respect, you begin to decline on the love and the important pieces of why you guys are in a relationship. And I'm gonna put it to you like this: like women, once they have completely felt disrespected and they no longer have respect for their partner, it's done. There's really no coming back from it. Um, I just I have not seen it where it turned around and that respect could be rebuilt, if you will, because the damage has been done. And so even when the person is trying to maybe put effort and, show love, it's done. So I want to try to avoid us from getting to the done, because when you get to the done, hands in the air, you give up, it's a wrap. That's when you split, you divorce, and it's over. But um, preventing that, it all starts in the beginning. It all starts with open communication and actions that build the trust with the partner. Number one, being honest with each other, regardless of what you think the other person is going to feel or think, but you're honest in a kind and considerate way, not just bluntly, no filter, tearing a person down, but you are loving in the way that you all are building your trust with each other and building respect. And I'm going to put it to you like this: like, there's a lot of conversation out there that portray women to feel like if you are respectful or if you are submissive, then, all your power is going to be taken away and you're going to get used and abused. And to me, that's just, false. That's just a myth, because real relationships that with lasting relationships, or long lasting relationships, their foundation is trust, respect, love for each other. And the respect is number one. It really, really is. I mean, when it comes to being in a relationship and being respectful to your man, it is going to trigger him to love you even more. The more respectful you are to him, the more he's going to love you. The more he loves you, the more you're going to respect him. And if he's loving you, respect is automatically in that space, because he understands that in order for this, transaction to happen, there can't be any distrust, because if you don't trust him anymore and he's acting out behaviors and ways about him that are questionable, that, don't align with what you all's expectations are in a relationship, then best believe that respect is going to be gone. And I mean, it's just simple, in all honesty. However, some men just can't get it right. And, we can explore deeper on like what those reasonings and what is the underlying issue. a lot of times the underlying issue is that they don't trust their woman because they didn't trust their mom. They feel this, unconscious sense of disrespect to women because deep down they really didn't respect their mom. Or they had these strong feelings of resentment to her. And so it seems to pour out and project onto the woman that they're with. It's so easy for men to say, oh, she's got daddy issues, or, she didn't grow up with a dad, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But the same occurs with men. Your upbringing, your first structured life with parents plays a intense role. And if it was a man who was raised by a single mother and he saw what she modeled for him, what she didn't model for him, and he never got healing from that because, you know, whatever the hesitations or, you know, reservations about counseling or therapy or, touching on these things are not dealt with, then it's kind of inevitable. Like they're going to treat their woman with disrespect. They're going to play the blame game of all the things that could be happening wrong in the relationship without seeing what they are doing in the relationship that is triggering the woman to not respect you back. I mean, for real, it's sad because at the end of the day, all that guy has to do is work on himself. And if you work on yourself before you get involved in a relationship, then that's right there is avoiding disrespect because you learn it again. You learn it over how it's important and those examples of like, what is disrespect? What does that look like? But nobody's a fool. We know what disrespect looks like. It's one thing for a man to present himself like he's doing no wrong. Everything is, the woman is doing all the things to him, and, she doesn't respect his contributions, or he feels that he's not appreciated. Well, you can't get appreciation if you're not loving and respecting your partner, your wife. That's just not going to happen. And if you aren't recognizing and taking accountability for the things that you're doing, then you're going to find yourself in this position over and over and over again. You can dump that girl, you can divorce that woman, you can move on with your life. But if you have not dealt with what is the core issue with you, it doesn't matter what relationship you're going to go in, you're not going to get respect. You're not going to get respected because you're still doing the same thing. You're still, pretty much putting that woman in a position to disrespect you. So there's that. And then there's, how am I, as a female, as a woman, how am I showing respect to my husband, my boyfriend? How does that look? Well, it's putting him in a position of priority. That's how you respect the same thing. But like, you really are prioritizing the person that you're with first, because you know that this person is important to you. You consider them in the things that you're doing. So you're out with your girls and, having a good time, right? When you're in a relationship with someone, you consider like, hey, I'm going to be coming in at this time, or Me and the girls are at this restaurant. Have you ate already? Would you like something? Um, or, just at home being like, are you good? Do you need anything? Just kind of the basic things that we automatically do. But when you respect someone, it's like that is kind of, a part of your daily like routine. You're just communicating to them in a way that is clear and effective. Example of not being respectful. Hey, what are you doing later? Not sure yet. I'll let you know when I find out. That's if your man is asking you. Alluding from giving them information is is definitely a sign of disrespect. Not prioritizing or putting any effort for them or considering them, you know, um, your tone, how you talk to them. How does that compute when they're hearing you back? Are you talking with sarcasm? You know, is it a moment where you guys have just, had a tense experience or something and now you're giving him the cold shoulder? Like all of these things are just part of being in a relationship. Like you're going to experience it, but if you respect the person, you're not going to take it to the point of, you know, disregarding how they may feel about something or purposely trying to piss them off or purposely trying to hurt them. Like that's really the key, you know? Um like I said, it is a domino effect across. And if you've been in a relationship and the disrespect has been ongoing and now it's just a part of your relationship, trust me, that's toxic. That is not normal because no one is perfect and you're going to have moments where it's tense or you're going to have moments where you get an attitude or your tone changes. But how do you rectify that in at the end of it? How do you turn it back around to be respectful? So it's like being accountable. It's about recognizing when something has happened and maybe that person felt disrespected. You acknowledge it, you apologize for it, and you move on. Let it go. But you don't continue to do it over and over again because we all know that gets old when you're apologizing for the same thing. You keep doing it. That will make someone lose respect for you quick, very quick. So, I say all of this because I believe in the fact that if your relationship is healthy, if your relationship is moving in a positive direction and you want to maintain it, you want to have a long lasting relationship, it is so dire and so important to know how to maintain being respectful to the other person, you know? That also goes to say with um individuals outside of your relationship, you know, preparing them and training them on how to respect your relationship because the moment that you show that you don't respect your partner, your man, your woman, the moment you show that to the people outside looking in, then they're going to follow suit. They're going to think it's okay. Especially if you affirm to them like, "Oh, it's all right. She just tripping. It's cool." So now not only are you active with disrespect in the relationship, but now you have people on the outside who are co-signing to that behavior, you know? And like I'm gonna put it to you like this. In a marriage, that and even in your relationship is practice. Like practice for marriage if you're that serious with someone. is your relationship is sacred, and outside noise and outside input doesn't need to interfere if it's not helpful, if it's not positive, right? And so, because you look at your relationship as sacred, you protect it from anyone else misunderstanding what y'all have. You're not going and telling someone of the opposite sex about the problems or the issues that you're having in your relationship, because that is disrespecting the relationship. Just ponder on that. Like, you going and telling someone else who's not, you know, a safe source, you're telling this person about your business in your relationship, or you are belittling your partner to this person as you're talking to them. That's not okay. That is not that is not okay to do. Even if you are the woman in the relationship, if you're the female going and talking to someone of the opposite sex about what problems you are having in a relationship, is not cool, because it's their leverage at times to use up against who you're with, because they may be trying to get with you. you know and it's like, you have to avoid those kind of traps and things, like, you know should that even be anything that you guys agree upon, that you have friends that are, like, you're going to have friends, you're going to have associates and different people that you're talking to. I'm not saying that you're just like completely, this is it. But what I'm talking about is being involved with someone and having boundaries for friends of the opposite sex. Having a, code of conduct understood. Like, no, I'm really not going to have any male friends that I talk to um personally that my husband or my boyfriend knows. Like, that's just, so, like I said, there is just a code of conduct that we should all be in sync with when it comes to respecting the person that you are involved with, because that is, to me, the one of the solid foundation pieces of relationships, and maintaining them and making sure that um, everyone involved in this relationship is respected. Because, like I was saying, if someone on the outside is witnessing disrespect and how someone is talking to you, one, it displays the dynamic and the problems that you are having in a relationship. That sometimes some people may try to avoid seeing or recognizing, or they are just so used to dysfunction that they just go with it. Um, but like I said, it shows this almost like your underbelly, your weakness in a relationship, for others to use that as leverage and weasel in, and you know position themselves to help tear down that relationship even more, because the disrespect has been exposed. So you have to put the effort and the work in with a relationship. You cannot assume that respect is just automatically given. It's in how you operate, how you interact, how you speak, the actions that you do. All of it plays a part. A person may get on your nerves, and you may have tense moments, and you may, have disagreements. But even in those disagreements, you still are showing a level of respect. that you're not going to curse them out or call them out their names or, belittle them because, I mean, would you want that happening to you? And if it has happened to you and it's still taking control of how you interact with others, then you gotta get that healing. You gotta start, you know, getting yourself to a better space in life and how you deal with people. You gotta acknowledge it. You gotta acknowledge the hurt and the pain where it comes from. You gotta build yourself into a place where you respect yourself. It's always gonna be that way. It's always gonna be where you do the work for you, and everything else will benefit from it. But if you are disgruntled, resentful, angry, you know, at the everything, it's going to affect every single relationship that you have, not just an intimate and, you know, relationship. It's going to affect your friendships, it's going to affect your coworker relationships. It's going to affect so much because that you are the common denominator. Male or female, like you are the one. So work on ourselves. Put a, special what do they call it? Resolution for the new year to work on yourself. Work on loving and respecting yourself because once you start there, you know then how it's supposed to look for you and how it's going to look when you respect and love someone else. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Continue to support, subscribe, follow, please. Leave comments. I hope that we can continue to grow as this new year approaches and everything. So, until next time, that's all I have to say about that.